The Quaggoths lead you to this kind of food preparation area. There's a bunch of shelves stocked with rations, dried mushrooms, dried meats, fishes, spices, and they instruct you to basically prepare food. One of the Quaggoths kind of just stands by the door to make sure you all do your thing. The others and the other and the drow kind of go off their business. And you've been instructed to prepare rations for the day. You're going to spend quite some time here. But you are kind of alone-ish with just one Quaggoth boredly sitting by the door, picking his butt. And yeah, you have an opportunity to kind of like scope things out. Maybe even swipe a thing or two.
I'm definitely gonna, as I'm going through all the food, I'm definitely going through to see if there's anything of use as I'm going through the shelves and so forth. Crates, shelves. I'll be on the left. I'll be on the top left side, or just the top side. I don't know where the other ones are choosing to be, but I'll do it.
So, Cora sees Dr. Howard doing this, and she starts doing the same thing on the other side.
As you're doing this, Eldith is cleaning, kind of like she's messing with the different tables. She doesn't really notice what you're doing. You're actually able to find that quite a bit of rations are stored here. Not just like raw food that you have to prepare, but like travel rations here. You see each packaging weighs about 2 pounds, enough to feed a single person. And you're able to count about 50 of these.
Obviously, we can't just shove it all in our slave rags, but
But you know where it is.
Huh?
But
Sorry?
you now know where it is.
Yeah.
So as you start like reading this, the Quaggoth notices you. Cora, you got a good peek. He saw the whole. Cora, you get to read the whole thing, even if you can't communicate it very well. This Quaggoth comes and he's gonna kind of grab you roughly by the back of the shirt and pull you away from it. And in Undercommon, he just says like, "Work," and then like points back at the food preparation station.
He yoinks both of us, or just Dr. Howard?
Just Howard. He didn't really notice Cora.
I don't want to be too loud. I'm just like, what did it say?
He kind of makes gestures like, later.
No, don't copy my gestures. What did it say? Rations you fix now, cook, talk later.
She kind of just like...
Dr. Howard thinks she's a simpleton. He doesn't realize.
Yeah, and so at this point, she's like, again, she hasn't actually formally been introduced to him at this point. So she still like hasn't assessed whether or not like she can trust him. So she's kind of taking a little bit of offense to him like thinking that she's dumb. Because I think one of the things that she sort of like, I don't know, prides herself on is like her intelligence. So anyway, she just like kind of widens her eyes like sternly at him, trying to, in her opinion, communicate to him that like, like later, like I'll show you later. But she's just like,
as you're struggling,
an insight check to see if I can.
Yes, make your insight check.
I'm so clueless.
You get it.
Got it.
As this is happening, the original drow that escorted you here marches back in. You've been in here, I'd say, for a little bit. He's going to come and like check on your work. I'm going to assume you did a little bit of food prep. So I'm going to have you both make some sleight of hand checks to see how well you did. Oh no!
I'm gonna roll my Sparky's inspiration.
Okay. I'm gonna roll for Eldith as well. Hold on, I don't see what that is yet.
It's better.
No, I'm rolling to see how good my cooking prep
Yeah,
was.
how you did at the activity that you were assigned.
I'm just be like, I'm sorry, in these shackles, I can barely do anything.
The drow looks at this pathetic attempt at food prep, and he just slaps it on the ground and just like throws it all to the ground in a rage, starts yelling at you in Undercommon about what a worthless sack of shit you are, how if you were in Menzober and Zan, you would be like executed for this. He's going to strike you.
I'm gonna let him hit me. I'm not
Okay,
gonna
so
dodge
he
it.
hits you.
I'm gonna fall to the ground.
Oh, you're gonna fall to the ground. So
I'm gonna try and pull an old wrestling move, where as he's hitting me, that I can pull away and fall to the ground.
okay, if he fails his attack roll to miss you, then I will allow you to like pull this little move.
Okay.
And you're technically out of your shackles, right? You kind of like slipped out of them.
Technically, I am, but
Okay.
I'm holding on to them.
Right. So you do not have. He doesn't have advantage on you. Does a 17 hit?
Yes, my AC is 15. Yeah.
So he's only gonna do. You take 3 points of slapping damage. He just slaps you. He just boxes your ears. He sees you try to do a maneuver. It kind of pisses him off. He screams at you some more. His anger kind of like, even though Cora and Eldeth did a much better job, they're all going to hear the end of it. And he just basically screams at you and then orders you to do it all over again, and you spend the better half of your shift doing this before you are all escorted back to the slave pens. Now, it's the next group's turn. Let me see who is coming. Da-da-da. As he comes in, he points at Kothar, Hemlock, Jimjar, Topsy, Lucius, and Prince Darendel. And they guide you through the same place that you went before, except they stop at the waterfall. Okay, so they lead you to this waterfall. And there are several barrels stacked up, and the Quaggoth basically point to you and instruct you to fill these water barrels, and you're going to take them around the camp.
Oh no. I look at the gnomes. I look at the fairy. I'm like,
The drows,
I look at my lanky arms.
The drows look at you, smirking and kind of nudging each other. And then in Undercommon, what are you waiting for? Fill him up.
I don't understand.
Don't worry, I'll carry them.
He's pointing at the barrels and he's pointing at the water. He like lets the water splash onto his hand, and he kind of like splats it on like at you, like aggressively, and points back into the barrels. And then
Okay. I'm Kothar, what languages do you speak?
Darendel is with
Common
you
and,
as well.
Common and Draconic.
Okay, I'm gonna say in common then. I'm gonna say, well, it looks like that we have to fill the barrels with water and transport them. Now, I don't know about you, but strength was definitely my dump stat, so I'm wondering if we should work together.
Well, I don't know what a dump stat is, but I agree. I'm not strong either.
Okay, so if we bring enough weaklings together, maybe that makes one competent laborer?
Prince Darendel, who is a large Quaggoth, kind of like in Elvish, speaks to you all like, "Don't worry, little ones." And he starts grabbing barrels and starts like filling up his one. But the drow are kind of watching, annoyed that you aren't filling. They're looking like they're ready to do something.
Okay, so I'm gonna like wave Kothar and the gnomes over and see if we can like all lift a barrel together.
Yeah.
See if we can bring it over.
2, 3, lift.
Both of you make strength checks, and since you're helping, actually, one of you make a strength check and with advantage since you're doing the help action.
What's your? I have a +1 in strength.
I have -1.
You two are.
I guess I'll roll.
You two and Lucius are gonna stay. The drow and Quaggoth are gonna lead the other NPCs away. They already have some barrels, so they're already like leaving. So it's just the three of you.
Okay. All right. With advantage?
Yes. So you start filling it, and you accidentally trip, and you spill it over the edge, and one of the drow grabs Kothar by your shirt collar. Let me make sure he can do this.
Oh.
God damn it. He like tries to grab you, but you're heavier than you look. But
Yeah. Totally.
wait, do you still have your shackles on, or did you get out? Oh yeah, you definitely got out. So he just grabs you. He meant to like try to hold you up over it, but he kind of like biffs it. So instead he just like leans forward, and in you don't speak Elvish, do you?
I don't.
So he just,
I don't understand anything they
so
say.
he just says in Undercommon, so those of you who speak Undercommon can understand this. If you fucking drop it again, I'm gonna drop you down this waterfall and feed you to the ooze.
Othar just like squints his eyes and tilts his head in confusion.
He just he's gonna just slap you. He's gonna.
How much health do I have?
You have full health. You're back at full health.
Okay.
You take 1 point of slapping damage, and then he just kind of like walks off and lets you do your work.
Okay. Here's what I want to do. First off, what are the chances that I find any mistletoe around here? Asking for a friend.
Do you need material components? Is that why?
Yeah.
You could find mistletoe if you found a component pouch or a focus. You won't need it. So that's how. I did want to bring that up. Spellcasters. I was waiting for one of you to try something, but since you asked,
It was me.
you do not have your arcane focuses, druid focuses, holy symbols, and you do not have component pouches. You may cast spells that require only verbal and somatic components, but no, if it requires a material component, you need to find a focus or a component pouch. So far, you don't have that.
So follow me on this journey. Craft can be cast without any components.
Druidcraft
can also like bring plants and stuff. Can I bring mistletoe?
So you can't create a whole new plant. You can help existing plants kind of grow. That's clever. Trying to make yourself a little focus there. Very clever. You know what? I will say if you can find an area that is flush with plant life, I'll let you make an attempt to create your own focus. That is pretty intense though. Like to have a focus, make one out of thin air is.
My focus is, I think, like a stick.
But it's a magical stick.
It's a magic stick.
It's a magic stick.
Every stick is magic when you believe in the druidic truths.
I'm gonna see where mistletoe grows.
I don't think I've ever seen a magic stick before.
Grow.
Well, you weren't looking
It typically
hard
grows
enough.
on oak trees and is native to Mexico. So I don't think you would find mistletoe in
We're not in Mexico, so.
No, you're not in Mexico.
Unless we're under Mexico.
You're in Guam, actually. Just kidding.
Okay, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Lucius is gonna see them struggling and kind of walk up and grab the barrel for them.
Make a athletics check.
I'm gonna hold the barrel and like flap my wings so I can fly up a little like I'm helping.
Do fairies have a fly speed?
Yes. Equal to
Cool.
our walking speed.
Cool.
Don't strain yourself.
All right, you're able to get this barrel, this big boy.
And I just kind of whisper to them, just fill the water, I'll take care of the rest.
Oh, and because you are a furbolg, you can actually carry double the barrels.
Yes.
Oh, well, this one I'm helping with.
It's much appreciated, little one.
So you're going to be taking these water barrels and refilling water vases around the camp. And those of you with dark vision, make a perception check for me.
Oh, good.
Perception.
It's super dark. Okay, anyways.
I've rolled 2 critical failures in like 4 rolls.
You're just getting it out of the way.
Welcome to my
now.
life.
You're just getting it out of the way. A drow is going to take you and escort you around. So the first place he's going to have... Here, I'm going to come over. Wait, you can't see me, Lucius, can you?
I can see your little dot.
Okay, well, this drow is going to light a little torch for you. A little mushroom torch. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Not.
Most brightest torch I've ever seen.
We're through a contour to not get blinded.
There. My bad. All right, he takes you. And be very careful when you walk across these. The first place he takes you to is this stalactite. And inside you see heavy carpets lining the ground. And in the middle, a dark and twisted shrine. Standing on the shrine is a giant spider.
Is everyone here? All 3 of us?
Yes, all 3 of you are inside here. Make some perception checks.
Ooh.
Ooh.
See all the things.
I don't perceive.
Kothar, you see this spider, your heart stops. You've never seen such an enormous, bloodthirsty monster before, and your heart just turns to ice. Though,
By tomorrow.
Lucius and Hemlock, you notice that is merely just a statue, a shrine dedicated to Lolth, its eyes embedded with pieces of jet. They almost look like they could be lodged out. Let's see who is in the shrine with you. In the shrine, you see a young drow. She is robed in priestess's wear. It is not Ilvara. And she is just kind of lounging in the back of the shrine. Just kind of looks over at you and then looks away. As you're filling the water, Jorlin enters. Jorlin is the scarred drow. He brushes right past you, doesn't even notice you, and approaches this young drow. And you just hear him begrudgingly say to her, "Mistress Asha, Ilvara requests an audience." "Oh, thank you, Jorlin. Will you be joining us?" And he just kind of hesitates. "No." "Oh, how strange. But will my cousin Shun be joining us?" "Yes."
Shots fired.
"It is such a shame how she treats you, dear Jorlin. If you were my consort, I would have treated you much, much more kindly, especially after all you've done for her. I don't know how you do it. If I were you, I would think of a way to embarrass them both, but you're so much more mature than I could ever be. Anyways, thank you for letting me know. I will accompany you now." As her words reach Jorlin's ears, you see, like, the gears start to turn, especially when she kind of comments on him embarrassing Ilvara and Shun. And the two of them leave. The drow that accompanied you is still there, but he just kind of looks, he kind of begrudgingly doing his job of keeping an eye on you. Seems a little distracted, but he's just walks over to the shrine and starts saying his personal prayers to Lolth.
Okay, so what else is in the room?
Make some perception checks.
I would love nothing more.
Hopefully I would perceive something this time.
Lucius and Kothar, okay, you too, as you start kind of looking around, notice that snuggled up in the cushions, a real living giant spider is lounging and watching you very closely.
I just kind of like nudge Hemlock very inconspicuously, and I just like look at her and look at the spider to try to like
What a
get her to
lovely
notice it.
cushion. Oh, why does that cushion have eyes? Oh! I'm gonna kind of like, well, we're whispering already. I'm gonna like, be like, hey, I'm thinking the jewels might be a thing we could take. But there's this spider watching us. I'm not very persuasive, but I can talk to animals.
Wait, is the spider also a statue in the pillows?
No, the pillow spider's real.
Oh.
And it's
Yeah, I can't
looking
talk
at
to statue.
you.
I don't know how you would talk to a spider, I'll be honest, but if you
Oh,
can
he
do
won't
it,
like it. I've met many spiders in the Underdark, and many of them are quite friendly, but I really get a vibe off spiders pretty quickly. This one, he's luxuriating in an altar of she who shall not be named. Yeah, he's not going to be super friendly to me, but I can talk to him and take his interest off you.
All right.
As you're doing this, your eyes also dart and you notice there is like a little ladder that's going down.
Going down?
You're in a stalactite and you're in the top floor.
Let's see. I kind of whisper to Hemlock, I'm like, I can speak to spiders too, but they don't quite understand me probably as well as they do you.
So, you mean you can speak at spiders?
Yes.
I don't know how to tell you this, but most people can do that. That's not an ability.
Even I can do that. I've never tried, but
Oh, but good point, Lucius. You're a much better physical obstruction than I am.
True. High tower. Well, how big is the spider?
It is the size, it is large. So you're all medium and small creatures. This is monstrous compared to, it's bigger than all of you.
oh no.
But, you know, it could be fine,
Maybe I could ride it out of here and we can have a distraction.
maybe?
I
Or maybe
don't-
we can... Oh, Kothar, I feel like you're, having second thoughts.
I don't know if I would like you riding him. I'll be honest. But I mean, maybe if you can speak to him? And he kind of looks at Hemlock with just a confused look on his face.
Well, okay, we're gonna try. And I would like to surreptitiously cast Speak with Animals, which has no material component.
I'm gonna need you to do it. Is there a somatic or verbal?
Yes, a verbal and somatic.
So do it with do a stealth check as you do
frick
it.
Can we aid that stealth check somehow?
How would you how are you aiding it?
Make a sound.
Because this
Yeah.
drow is
Can I-
here. If you're not distracting this drow, he's gonna notice.
Can I like let out a cough?
Yeah. So make
Can I
it
just cough?
make it with advantage.
Okay.
Kothar sees what's going on and then like coughs.
The drow looks at you and starts yelling at you in Undercommon. It sounds very
Wow.
mean. It sounds like he may be insulting family members of yours.
I am blissfully unaware.
That passes. That passes. So now you can speak with animals. How long can you speak with animals for?
indefinitely.
It's not a concentration.
No, it's not. Yeah, it is. Hold on.
Nice try.
Forever and ever, amen.
10 minutes. 10 minutes. It's just in little tiny things.
Okay,
10 minutes.
10 minutes. All right, good to know. All right, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna say, hello, Reverend Spider. My name is Hemlock, and what is your name?
Sweet, succulent thing. I wonder how you taste. Sweet meat. I hope I catch you in the webs underneath. I would love to taste your meat.
I can assure you that fairies are known for being very gamey and not good eating.
Sweet, sweet meat. It is a shame they do not let me feed on you unless you're very naughty. Then they might throw you down into our webs. Then I will be so happy to taste you.
Oh my goodness. Huh. You have webs. That's very impressive. Where are the webs?
The webs underneath. They always throw the troublesome ones down there for us to eat.
Is that where you spend time with your friends and family?
Our whole family, yes, many of us.
And is it an extended family?
You look so delicious. Come closer.
Oh, I'm actually doing great over here. Have you
feel
perchance seen any mistletoe recently?
Let me taste you. Just a taste. Just a little
Okay.
nibble.
Oh goodness. Okay. I'm just gonna and turn to Kothar and Pooh and Lucius and be like, he very much wants to eat us. There are lots of webs that we should be cautious of that are traps. There are lots of more spiders who also want to eat us. He is waiting for us to hack up so that he is allowed to eat us. I'm assuming when the drow gives him the message. Maybe we shouldn't steal the jewels.
Maybe I shouldn't. I think I am not on their good side right now.
I wonder if we can trick it into believing there is prey down into those webs. Get it out of the room.
Oh, I'm gonna go back to the spider and be like, it's so funny that you mentioned that because I saw someone down there when I went and looked. I'm like, peek over the hole. I'm like, yeah, it looks like there's someone in the web.
Make a persuasion.
Persuasion,
Holy
deception.
heckaroo.
Deception, yes. A deception, thank you.
I'm not good at either. Can I ask, okay, can I wait, can I when because it was Lucius's idea, can I make it be like, I'm like, you look in the hole too. Look shocked that someone's down there.
Wait, where are you looking? What hole are you looking down?
You said that they're down below and there was a ladder going down. I was under the impression there was a hole.
That ladder seems to lead to a second floor of this structure.
Oh, okay. So I'm not gonna.
You're
use
not
that
outside.
strategy.
You are inside. You're indoors.
Okay, so I'm gonna say to him, I'll be like, "Oh, on the way here, we saw someone trapped in the web."
Yeah. You can say that. Make a deception. Do you have one more of your inspirations?
Yes. Let's see if we need it.
You need it.
Yes.
Let's see if we need it. Oh, no.
As you're trying to say it and says, it thinks we are fools. I would know if they feed us. We feel the vibrations in the webs.
Oh. I don't see very well. Sorry.
Now, were you distracting this spider so that others can do something? Was that the plan? Or were you just trying to get information?
I think that was the plan, but we might have backed out.
I think they chickened out because I did communicate to them in the meanwhile how, what the stakes were of stealing this thing, and that there's a drow looking at them and that he will give them the command to let the spider eat us. So I'm gonna say it's up to them. I am distracting the spider.
And the
I
drow
tried
is
to distract him more.
The drow is pretty close to this shrine too. He's
Yeah,
worshiping
so-
at it.
Listen, after the priestess incident and now the water barrel incident, I think I'm on thin ice.
Okay, so Kothar's died enough today. We're just gonna clock that one here.
All right.
Um,
You spent quite a bit of time in here, so it's the time that it would have taken you to refill everything. And this drow finishes his prayers, so he's gonna kind of like gesture for you to get the fuck out and follow him. You are going to now deliver water to the different elite barracks. So come on over. Oh, I have like a little guy here.
Where are we going?
we're going on an adventure.
I'll move you
An
on.
adventure I don't want to go on.
Oops.
That's fair.
Unless you've been on an adventure like this before.
Where are you?
I certainly haven't.
All right.
I've had many a run-in with a spider, but never while being captive of drow.
Let me
And
s-
I'm assuming one that hasn't wanted to eat you before.
Oh no, they definitely want to eat me a lot of the time. Usually just telling them I'm gamey is enough of a sale, though. Some of them
Oh.
are quite bougie with their taste.
Okay. Let
I'm
me
happy I've never seen giant spiders before then.
Oh! Oh, you'll see some more giant spiders, don't you worry.
Don't tell me that, please.
There are smaller spiders too, does that help?
I mean, I've seen smaller spiders before in the monastery, but I don't know. Maybe, as long as they don't want to eat us.
Oh, well, usually the small spiders are accompanied by a giant spider.
Okay.
As you are led into this, these two stalactites that are two-storied, you see inside of them little furniture. There's a bed, there's a chest, shelves, a writing desk, and a trap door leading to the next floor. And so you are filling up the water.
Oh, it's so cute!
This is the elite. This looks like to be a room specifically for a single elite high-level ranking officer.
Is the drow here with us? Like, in the room?
Yes, he is in the corner.
Is he watching us or is he preoccupied?
He's like just kind of bored. He looks like he is not happy with his job.
That's relatable.
Is there anything on the
It's a
table?
living!
You see papers written in Elvish, letters, orders. You
I
see,
don't speak Elvish, so I don't know.
yeah, so it's scribbling to you. You see like a little folded page that, if you kind of peek inside, it looks kind of like a centerfold of a naked dwarven lady, or not dwarven. Well, maybe it's a dwarf. Yeah, it's a dwarven lady. He's looking at some Durgar porn. Just kidding.
Is Prince Darendal's with us, right?
He actually has been sent off to, yeah.
The one who speaks Elvish. Okay.
I speak Elvish too.
Oh! I'm just gonna kind of be like,
It's that little.
Just like nudge him and nudge him, make him look at the tables.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna start singing a little song to distract the drow, like a little fairy song, being like, watering the plants with my face, except there are no plants here in the Underdark. Well, there are, but they
Make a
are mostly
performance.
fungi.
Make a performance check.
A performance check?
Yeah, you're singing.
A beautiful song. Also, I've been doing a lot of research about mushrooms, and did you know that mushrooms are not really, they're like between being plants and animals? They
Yeah,
have
they're
cell
fungi are their own category. They're not plants because they don't photosynthesis. They consume flesh. And
That was a 19. It is beautiful.
It's a beautiful song.
So
It is a
it's
gorgeous
not that
song.
this drow thinks you're a good singer. It's just successfully distracted. So any kind of stealth attempts are going to have advantage.
I'd like to kind of look around the room and see if I notice anything in Elvish or any sort of.
You do see
Papers.
some papers. Give me an investigation.
Looking at
Not me taking a picture of the snow.
After your little performance, you take a peek at that. The elf kind of looks annoyed at you and then opens up the trap door.
Oh.
This is the second floor. You actually see a drow warrior. Just kind of in there, resting. Okay, you're now in this room, and the two drow start to converse with each other, just kind of shooting the shit, ignoring you as you do your duties. The room is very much like the room before, although you do notice a letter crumpled up on the desk. And then actually, I made a mistake. This is Jorlin's room. Jorlin's in here. And he's sitting there looking sour. And he starts talking to this other drow about just shit. He kind of like looks at you guys. And you could tell he's like thinking about something. And then he goes back to the drow.
Can I insight check to see if I can gather what he's thinking about? Like follow his eyes or something?
Sure, go ahead and make an insight check. You can tell that for the first time since you've been here, one of your captors has regarded you with intention. The rest of you kind of are treating you like your furniture. Like barely even notice you. You're slaves. But he's actually kind of like, Anyways, it looks like it's mushrooms again. In fact, he starts talking about how annoyed he is because a detachment from Menzo Berenzan has been delayed again, and so they have to cut rations for some of the lower ranking drow, and just starts talking about how obnoxious Vrox are, and just how inconvenient it is that there's been some Vrock activity lately. But only Lucius catches any of this.
For clarification, was he regarding just me with intention or the three of us?
The three of you.
Okay.
Can I clumsily bump into the chair and kind of lift the note and kind of hide it in my slave rags?
Make a stealth check with advantage because the two of them seem to be kind of distracted.
You said deception?
Yeah. Sleight of hand, actually. Make a sleight of hand. All right. You bump in. You clumsily grab it. The lower ranking drow, not Jorlin, but the other one who's with him, just kind of turns his neck and kind of like yells at you to stop fussing with shit that you shouldn't be.
I'm
then
large,
says,
I'm not used to these rooms.
He goes back to Jorlin. He's like, I better get these. He says this in Elvish. I better get these. Says he calls you very obscene, rude things. Going, and I'll see you in the Great Hall. And then they take you. You go to two other elite barracks, a lot like the ones you're in. And then your last stop is to refill the water back in the Great Hall, which is where our other slaves were doing their work, and they take you back to the slave pens.
All right.
And I didn't by chance see any like component pouch just like hanging out like
not
in
any of the places that you explored, but maybe we can get some people to eavesdrop and get a hint as to where they might be.
And I'm going to share all the information I learned.
Do you want to look at the note?
Yes, I already looked at it, but I will.
Here,
Do you want me to read it?
I'll share it with everybody. Show two players. It's this crumpled piece of parchment is written in a fine hand, and the ink is badly smudged from drops of fluid. Okay. And it reads in Elvish, so this is in Lucius's voice. Translating it for you. Lieutenant Duskrin, I regret to inform you that Shor Vandry will be replacing you as my first lieutenant. While your service as a soldier and consort is regarded, your recent injuries render you incapable of fulfilling your duty. You'll be relinquishing your quarters to Lieutenant Vandry, as well as the Wand of Viscous Globs, since you will no longer be needing it. Though you can no longer serve at your former capacity, your past deeds have not gone forgotten. I will allow you to retain your officer rank and remain here in Velkenvelv, boarding with the other elite warriors, of course. Ilvara Mizram, Priestess of Lolth.